This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Seminar highlights land ownership and human rights. ICCC explains PMV fares increase. And National Maritime Safety Authority urges caution at sea. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Nicole Rama. Thank you for joining us. The Papua New Guinea National Parliament, in partnership with the United Nations, have commenced a two-day high-level seminar on customary land and human rights today at APEC House in Port Moresby.
Opening the discussion, Member for Hiri Koyari and Chairperson of Special Parliamentary Committee on Customary Land and Land Reform noted that indigenous people should not be forcibly removed from their land or territories, according to the International Labour Organization, Indigenous and Tribal Peoples Convention 1989.
Including their collective right to use, access and control of lands, territories and resources that they have traditionally owned, occupied or otherwise used or acquired. These protections are reinforced by the Indigenous and Tribal Peoples Convention of 1989, or ILO 169. The declaration further provides that Indigenous peoples...
He said poor land governance has imposed challenges on most men, women and children.
Poor land governance has a disproportionate effect on women and children who have the right to own, use and control housing, land and property on an equal basis with our menfolk.
UN Resident Coordinator Richard Howard said United Nations support the government and National Executive Council to develop a national prevention strategy.
The UN supports the government, the National Executive Council, to develop a national prevention strategy. That was endorsed by the Council last year. That strategy focuses on addressing conflict on a broad scale through a multi-sectoral approach in Papua New Guinea.
Key points in the seminar highlighted human rights, promoting free, prior and informed consent, and ensuring that customary landowners actively participate in decisions affecting their land. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso emphasized that customary land is the identity, culture and livelihood of Papua New Guineans, and reforms must respect traditional systems while addressing modern development challenges.
Pick the good bits, leave out the bad bits, and try to make certain that it applies to Papua New Guinea. That suits Papua New Guinea. That will work in Papua New Guinea. Not because it works well in Singapore, not because it works well in another country.
The commencement of the seminar brought together members of parliament, government officials, traditional landowners, civil society representatives, and international partners to engage in discussions on customary landowners along with the protection of human rights for traditional landowners in Papua New Guinea. Mimi Pio, National EMTV News.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Lands, John Rosso, is urging landowners to collaborate and register their land with the Lands Department to protect their ownership and customary land rights.
Speaking during the land seminar today, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Lands, Physical Planning and Urbanization, John Rosso, urged all landowners to have their land titles registered to protect their land rights.
Protect ownership while enabling development and not locking land away from opportunity. Good practice, good records, good registration, good identification, so that we know exactly usat onim disla baret, usat onim disla valley, na usat onim disla hapkrau. I urge all customary landowners to survey and register the land so it's easily identified.
He said this is to prevent the rightful landowners from being misled. However, there are challenges. Therefore, the introduction of electronic registration will enable and give access to landowners in remote parts of the country to register their land.
Then, how does a poor landowner in remote Rigo come and register his land? How does a landowner in Minyamia come and walk through the complexities of the lands department, which doesn't make it easier for the landowner too? I understand the problem. We need to find a process that helps the landowner in the district to be able to register his land properly, have it registered electronically, so that no one down the track, 20 years' time, can forge the signature manually and take the land away from them.
Mimi Pio, National EMTV News.
The Department of Works and Highways hosted a welcome and dedication ceremony for the newly appointed Minister for Works and Highways at the department's headquarters in Port Moresby today.
In his address, Department Secretary Gibson Holemba welcomed the new Minister for Works and Highways, Peter Chamalili Jr., and congratulated him on his appointment.
On behalf of the government of Papua New Guinea, the National Executive Council, and the Works and Highways family across the country, I extend to you our heartfelt congratulations on your appointment as Minister for Works and Highways. We receive you not only as our political head, but as the national custodian of the country's transport lifelines.
Mr. Holemba pledged the department's support and intention to work alongside the minister.
Minister, as you know, in the essence, when roads fail, the economy slows down. When bridges collapse, services stop. When connectivity is restored, the nation moves forward. And we will need your leadership in that front. We will be working in partnership with you.
In accepting his responsibility to the department, Minister Chamalili said his department's work is to serve this country and to deliver to its people.
To my staff, your work is truly about nation building. To every staff member of the Department of Works and Highways, I want you to remember something. When you wake up and put your uniform, you're not just going to work, you are truly building a nation. When you inspect a culvert, you're protecting lives. When you check a design, you're protecting public investment. When you enforce standards, you are defending the future. And when you stand up for integrity, even when it's difficult, you are protecting the honor of this department.
The minister strongly emphasized that with discipline, accountability and loyalty, the department will earn people's trust to connect Papua New Guinea, further calling on the staff to rise up and work with pride.
We must take pride in our workmanship. We must build roads that last, bridges that stand, systems that protect public money.
Jacinta Doctor, National EMTV News.
Fares for buses and taxi services for this year have increased by 20% and 60% respectively for all commuters to follow.
These fares were published in a national gazette dated 9th January and was to take effect this month. In a media conference today, the Independent Consumer and Competition Commission took time to clarify a misconception from the public.
The changes to the PMV fares and taxis are not arbitrary, meaning that it's not from the blue, but we have done due diligence to our regulatory process in terms of reviewing the cost structures. Every towns and centers and for routes that we have considered will increase by 20% every year for the next 3 years, respectively. For taxi fares, the structure is the same, and fares will increase by around 16% in 2026.
At the moment, many PMVs are yet to enforce these new fares. This has been the result of the lack of awareness by the responsible authorities.
stakeholders like the police traffic. They need to enforce this because the ICCC has limited powers around this enforcement. So in terms of consumer welfare, if you can raise a complaint or query with us, we will take it up and we will go through the process of addressing it. But in terms of being there doing this is RTA, Road Traffic Authority, and police traffic need to step up on this because rates are gazetted and they are law. So, and then who does that? So for us, it's just reviewing the cost structure, setting the fees, but who does the actual enforcement on the ground? So that is police traffic, and RTA needs to do this.
Independent Consumer and Competition Commission also highlighted that they have noted that there are routes utilized out of necessity due to the growing population.
These are called semi-urban routes, which the city have expanded. You have settlements outside, you have other developments come. So there's like, for example, Gordons to 9 Mile or 14 Mile, they charge different rates, right? So this is something that we are in discussions and making sure RTA and they need to gazette those routes, and then we can review the fares, the cost involved, and then we can charge appropriately. But in the meantime, I don't think we have a rate for those semi-urban routes which are not gazetted and registered.
PMV operators are to take note that there is an increased penalty fee against non-compliance.
Or any PMVs who seem to be charging higher than the approved rates from ICCC. Now there's a mandatory requirement is by law that they will be charged for non-compliance, and that penalty can be hefty. So 10,000 kina for summary offense and 30,000 kina for indictment.
Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
Samarai Murua district successfully exported its first shipment of fish to the Thailand market recently.
This initiative was launched in December last year by Prime Minister James Marape. Prime Minister Marape noted that the export reflects the government's vision of empowering rural communities in the districts to actively participate in downstream processing and export-driven growth. Samarai Murua member EC Henry Leonard highlighted an important aspect of the export process.
Licensing officers and also the inspection officers will enable us to make all the success in terms of the requirements for us to enable the export to be done without any hindrances, without any trouble, but a smooth transition from the wharf into the containers and from the containers right into the fish market in Sumut Sakon in Thailand.
The first shipment of 4 fully loaded 20-foot containers of fish at the value of over $100,000 successfully arrived in Thailand over the weekend, marking the rural district's entry into the international seafood market. Mr. Leonard credited this success to the Prime Minister, district stakeholders, NFA, and local fishermen. He said this initiative will create sustainable livelihoods, generate district revenue, and open doors for future exports. Amanda Ilaitia, National EMTV News.
The National Maritime Safety Authority will not hesitate to arrest and prosecute small boat owners and operators who do not comply with the Small Craft Act 2011. NMSA Acting Chief Executive Officer Captain Krzysztof Orlowski made this remark following the report of the recent incident involving betel nut traders on a boat which capsized on the way from Medang to Kimbe and left passengers stranded in the open sea. NMSA warns that failure to comply with safety at sea measures can result in severe penalties. NMSA will continue to work in collaboration with water police, small craft provincial administrations, and local communities to ensure that safety at sea is not compromised. Captain Orlowski called on provincial governments of every maritime province to ensure a high-level maritime safety is enforced on its people, especially during this unpredictable weather period. He said no matter what laws and standards are put in place, People will continue to be lost at sea if dinghies are overloaded, run out of fuel, travel in bad weather, all people on board are not provided with life-saving appliances, and consumption of alcohol by boat operators or passengers is tolerated. Captain Olowski said each maritime province has different circumstances and needs that require local solutions. He urges all maritime provinces to tailor maritime safety and regulation solutions that are best suited for their communities and waters. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Chicken kebab for dinner. Yum.
Beef stir fry.
Chicken curry, my favorite.
Kebabs for you,
Yum.
stir fry for you, and chicken curry for us.
Magic in every meal, one cube at a time.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You may hold him and walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
All small crafts going out at sea must consider simple safety requirements. Always check the weather report before going out at sea. Do not jump on a boat if the passengers or skipper have been drinking alcohol. Always remember to wear a life jacket. Take enough drinking water and food with you. Make sure you have a bucket, canvas for shelter, and a paddle for emergency. Always take extra fuel on board and do not get on a boat that is overloaded. This message is authorized by the National Maritime Safety Authority.
On the go and need a quick update? Talk to TISA Bank. No logging, no typing, just your voice.
Hey Siri, what's my balance?
Your balance is 2,578 kina.
Activate voice banking in 3 simple steps. 1. Update your TISA Bank mobile app to the latest version. 2. Set up Siri on your iPhone if not already enabled. 3. Start voice banking with TISA. TISA Bank. Banking on change.
A closer look, EMTV's half-an-hour program that brings you real in-depth stories on Papua New Guinea's most prevalent current affairs.
This platform aims to educate, inform, and discuss issues on politics, health, education, infrastructure, resources, climate change, among other stories that affect the people of Papua New Guinea.
Tune in 7 p.m. Sundays only on your number one to watch, EMTV.
You're watching National EMTV News. Possession of illegal firearms continues to pose a threat in communities in the Highlands region. In response, the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary is looking at possible alternatives that could assist to contain law and order issues.
The police minister made a strong statement yesterday going against the practice of trading cash for illegal guns. This type of practice is seen as not helping the society and does not maintain law and order. Police Minister Sir John Pundari said their intention of implementing the recruitment of more regular police officers as well as reservists.
Mino lagi mo lesla warlord na gunman ya lo olim gun blow na staff. Mibla lagi ba all come up reserve policeman. That's the reason why it is important that the recruitment of the 300 reserves in Enga starts immediately and on the back of this awareness that will occur for the surrender of illegal weapons. Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary will work together with the Enga provincial government or the Enga provincial police commander in ensuring that we recruit for about 100 or 200 regular policemen.
In a meeting with the Henga Governor, Sir Peter Hipatas, Police Minister said they had a good discussions on steps forward to addressing the issues in the province. Minister Pundari explained it is an important responsibility tasked by the government.
The firearm issue might be a nationwide issue. The fact that we Hengans take this illegal gun to the battlefield and shoot each other has tarnished the good name of this nation. Has tarnished the good name of us as provincial leaders, members of parliament, and the peace-loving, good citizens of the Enga province.
Minister said their core priority now is to deal with the thugs, criminals, and warlords.
My directions to the Commissioner is that the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary must provide the leadership to be relentless in addressing these illegal guns in my province, Ella, be it Southern Highlands, and of course, the rest of the country as well. And we've got to start aggressively somewhere, and I felt that Enga was the best place to start with.
He intends to conduct consultations with all leaders in the Highlands region, which is started in his own province. Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
An amnesty period is expected to be announced soon in Enga province and other parts of the Highlands region for people to surrender their guns to the law enforcement authorities.
The police authorities have been issued directives to provide support when necessary.
2 weeks from now, I will be announcing an amnesty period for 2 weeks. And subject to the progress we make in the 2 weeks, after an assessment, I am at liberty to extending it for another 2 weeks. But 2 weeks is a sufficient good time frame for illegal owners of firearms to surrender.
Based on several agreements that were previously signed relating to tribal conflicts and other issues, Minister Pundari said the people are not abiding to these agreements.
I'm not here to protecting any political court or anyone for that matter. Me, including you and the Prime Minister and every one of us, we're under the law. If you sign an agreement, if you're a leader, live up to it. Why are you people fighting? Why are you not doing something about it? Insulting people who came to witness your agreement. Start arresting before the amnesty period comes in. Because there is an amnesty period coming in, it does not mean that you relent.
Minister Pundari is appealing to the leaders and the people of Henga to act now and put an end to the recurring issues.
Help me, help the Commissioner. Hengans, rise! Enough now. Enough! Hellas, rise! Enough now! Illegal guns are a pain to social order in this country. It starts with us leaders. Let's surrender our illegal weapons. It starts with you businessmen, you walk buy more like guns stuff here. Surrender your illegal weapon. Tell your clansmen to surrender. Presidents, councillors, surrender yours.
Police Minister said the amnesty period is the grace period given to the tribal leaders and warlords to make good decisions and hand over their illegal guns. Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
A total of 31 existing vanilla farmers with 5 Department of Agriculture and Livestock offices from the Anga provincial government have participated in a climate-smart vanilla cultivation, husbandry and processing training recently facilitated by the Anga Provincial Division of Agriculture and Livestock.
The training was delivered by vanilla specialist and director of Gaulma Agri Services Limited, Nanda Siri. Anga Provincial DAL Director John Yamarak said it is his vision to diversify and invest in crops of greater economic value. He said vanilla grows well, but farmers lack the vital knowledge and skills required to cultivate the crop for its full economic potential. For this reason, he said he had requested the vanilla specialist who flew in from Wewak, Isipik province to deliver the training. Training was conducted in both theory and practical, covering cultivation, husbandry and processing. Vanilla specialist Mr. Siri said it is his ambition to help the highlands farmers grow vanilla and revolutionize vanilla production in the highlands region. Another facilitator was Jackson Mark, co-director of Gaulma Agri Services Limited, with a brief vision board diagram illustrating how vanilla farmers can aim to farm as a business by understanding all their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in order to plan and take actions. Jacinta Doctor, National EMTV News.
47 active cases of sorcery and domestic violence recorded are currently under PNG Tribal Foundation fighting for justice. Out of the 47 cases, 45 are sorcery accusation-related violence and 2 are gender-based violence cases. Reports show police investigations are underway, few are pending, and many have reached committal and national courts in the country. President of PNG Tribal Foundation Gary Buston confirmed that from the 47 active cases, there are 622 victims and survivors being looked after by the foundation. PNG Tribal Foundation provides food, accommodation, logistics support when attending to court hearing or to police stations, clothing, medical reports including postmortems, and even eyewitnesses support on weekly basis. Mr. Buston said many people assume these victims are only able-bodied adults. That assumption is wrong. He stressed that among the displaced are children and the elderly, and some forced to flee with nothing but the clothes they were wearing. They live in constant fear without shelter, security, and any safe way to provide for themselves. Currently in Port Moresby, the PNG Tribal Foundation is managing an active SAF case involving 40 people displaced after a recent incident in which 2 individuals were stabbed to death last November. Before going to PNG Tribal Foundation, these victims approached 2 very well-known organizations. Both declined to assist, citing lack of time or capacity. Tribal stepped in with food, shelter, and protection to fight for justice on their behalf, firmly stating their support into the future. Meanwhile, according to PNG Tribal Foundation, the responsible authorities still fail to address and join the fight against SAF, despite being formally approached. The Western Highlands Provincial Health Authority opened its 2026 operational year with a public dedication service in Mount Hagen yesterday.
The dedication ceremony brought together healthcare workers, departmental heads and support staff. The dedication service was led by Provincial Health Authority Chaplain Reverend Eka, with this year theme Reset, Recommit and Be Dedicated for a New Beginning in the Public Service. Director of Nursing Service Janet Yamu highlighted the authorities' achievements and acknowledged the teamwork that made Western Islands PHA the top performing PHA in the country for 2 consecutive years. She urged staff to reflect on their contributions and to be thankful for the opportunity to serve, noting that many qualified individuals remain unemployed. PHA Acting CEO Jane Alden encouraged staff to work in harmony and avoid grudges, reminding them on their responsibility to serve patients with integrity, honesty and commitment.
The past gone, and indeed it has, and I think the message about that is don't take grudges forward. They end up eating you up inside. Don't take faults forward. If you can change it, change it. You know, this is the time for reset if we can do that.
She praised workers for their dedication, noting that Western Islands PHA's performance in 2023 and 2024 exceeded the national standards. Meanwhile, Western Islands Provincial Nurse Association Branch President Sister Julie Eka highlighted that Again Hospital records a high number of patients to staff ration.
Nursing officers, as we are frontliners, we all have been loaded with work. And the population we've been working against last year, our numbers were small, and the population, the patients that have been coming to our care have increased.
The purpose of the service is to recommit to the PHA's HOT for 2026, including loyalty and duty, obedience, integrity, public interest, confidence.
To our care have increased.
The purpose of the service is to recommit to the PHA's HOT for 2026, including loyalty and duty, obedience, integrity, public interest, confidentiality, and accountability. Western Islands PHA was reminded of these principles to ensure the authority remains disciplined and high-performing. Edward Luke, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
The Office of the Electoral Commissioner released a statement confirming that 45 of the 156 teams started polling for the New Ireland provincial seat by-election on the 19th of January.
These were for Kavian Urban LLG, Matalai LLG, and Namatanai LLG. The other 7 LLGs did not start on the 19th due to bad weather currently experienced. PNGEC revealed that due to such, adjustments to the polling dates had to be made, while awareness was done within the respective LLGs by the assistant returning officers. Meanwhile, Deputy Electoral Commissioner Kila Vaname was on the ground in Kavian on Tuesday to oversee the elections and teams and to ensure that the counting venue preparations were on schedule. 31 teams completed polling on the 19th in Matalai and Kavian Urban. 14 teams continued on the 20th for Namatanai LLG. 111 teams are in the deployment stage pending weather assessments, while difficult LLGs anticipate polling before this week ends. The acting electoral commissioner, Margaret Vagi, highlighted that no major security issues occurred during polling in the first 3 LLGs. Amanda Elaitia, National EMTV News.
Now we take a look at the Nest Fund Market Report. The Kina closed lower at $0.2341 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.2266 US, $0.3322 Australian dollars, 0.1859 euro, 35.61 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed lower, palm oil closed unchanged, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed higher. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NAS Fund. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
At Telecom, we're boosting our network. Households will enjoy better connections. Communities will get faster speeds and wider coverage. And business will profit from new towers and a more secure network. Plus, everyone will benefit from onshore storage that brings browsing home. It's all part of our ongoing billion kina nationwide investment. It feels good to be building a faster, stronger network for PNG.
For the very first time in Papua New Guinea, Mel Research and Marketing Consultants proudly launched the 5th issue of the Mel Review magazine commemorating PNG's 50th Golden Jubilee independence. 2 volumes, 500 pages each. Volume 1 covers government politics and leadership, while Volume 2 highlights the private sector, state-owned entities as service providers, and NGOs. Together, they cover the period from 1972 to 2025. This 1,000-page collection reflects PNG's 50 years and sets the foundation for the next 50.
On the go and need a quick update? Talk to TISA Bank. No logging, no typing, just your voice.
Hey Siri, what's my balance? Your balance is 2,578 kina.
Activate voice banking in 3 simple steps. 1. Update your TISA Bank mobile app to the latest version. 2. Set up Siri on your iPhone if not already enabled. 3. Start voice banking with TISA. TISA Bank. Banking on change.
High Time returns in February 2026. 2026. This February, join us on a brand new season of High Time. Hi, I'm Martha. Come February, join me on a new season of Kai Time, where we continue to inspire you to make simple, budget-friendly, and tasty meals for your family. Kai Time returns on February 4, 2026, right here on your number one to watch, EMTV.
You're watching National EMTV News. Moving to overseas news, U.S. President Donald Trump has dropped his plan to impose tariffs on 8 European allies for opposing his push to take over Greenland.
In a post on social media, Mr. Trump said he was dropping the threat after he and NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte formed the framework of a future deal for Greenland and the Arctic region. Earlier, the president also ruled out using force to take over the Danish territory. Mr. Trump has told reporters in Davos the deal being discussed puts everyone in a good position.
It's a deal that people jumped at. Really fantastic for the USA. Gets everything we wanted, including especially real national security and international security.
How so? Can you give us some details, please?
Well, the deal is going to be put out pretty soon. We'll see. It's right now a little bit in progress, but pretty far along. It gets us everything we needed to get.
3 Palestinian journalists and 2 teenage boys were among 11 people killed in Israeli strikes across Gaza in the last 24 hours. The attacks came ahead of a signing ceremony for Donald Trump's new board of peace as the U.S. president pushes the fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas into its second phase.
Palestinian health authorities say that 3 Palestinian journalists were on assignment in Gaza, there to film Egypt's relief work in the war-ravaged Strip when they were killed by an Israeli airstrike as they were travelling in a car through central Gaza. The Palestinian authorities say that the journalists were among 11 people killed by Israeli attacks in Gaza on Wednesday, including 2 13-year-old boys.
What happened is a very big crime committed by the Israeli army by targeting a crew belonging to the Egyptian committee. This crew was not firing rockets nor fighting the Israeli army. The Egyptian committee's crew was in a humanitarian mission.
Since October, a fragile truce brokered by the US has stopped large-scale fighting between Israel and Hamas, but both sides have accused each other of ceasefire violations. The attacks come as US President Donald Trump announced his new Board of Peace, made up of world leaders, as well as several other committees to oversee the ceasefire, as well as the reconstruction and governance of Gaza, as he tries to push his plan for peace there into its second phase. Palestinian health authorities say more than 480 people have been killed in Gaza since the ceasefire came into force 3 months ago.
Syria's defense ministry says 11 people have been killed and more than 25 wounded in attacks by the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces.
It says the drone strike killed soldiers in the country's northeast, which has seen days of fighting between the Kurdish forces and Syrian army, despite both sides agreeing to a ceasefire. The SDF denies it launched a strike. It comes after Syrian government forces took control of a camp in the region on Wednesday, housing thousands of people linked to the Islamic State group. Armoured vehicles carrying troops moved into the Al-Hol camp following the withdrawal of Kurdish forces who had controlled the facility for years. The president of neighbouring Turkey says he welcomes the recent developments in Syria and reiterated a separatist Kurdish sect would not be accepted on his country's border.
We've repeatedly said that we will not tolerate a separatist structure on Turkey's southern borders that would threaten our country's security. As neighbours and brothers, we wholeheartedly support the Syrian state and the Syrian military in their struggle to build a united, single, independent Syria where all ethnicities, faiths and sects live side by side.
Former South Korean Prime Minister Han Duck-soo has been sentenced to 23 years imprisonment for his part in then-President Yoon Suk-yeol's 2024 attempt to impose martial law.
Seoul's Central District Court found Han was instrumental in setting up the outward appearance of a cabinet meeting that facilitated the insurrection. Han has denied all wrongdoing charges except partial perjury. The 76-year-old is the first former cabinet minister to be sentenced over the action, which threatened to return South Korea to authoritarian rule before Yoon Suk-yeol's arrest and removal from office. Yoon has already been sentenced to prison time over some charges related to his failed declaration, with more court cases in progress.
Prince Harry has told a British court the media made his wife Meghan's life a misery as his case against British tabloid The Daily Mail continues.
Prince Harry is in London to settle scores against an industry he loathes, the tabloid press. He's waited 3 years for this case to come to trial, and when he arrived at the Royal Courts of Justice, he looked calm and composed, ready to tell his story. Now, he's not the only high-profile person involved in this case. In fact, 6 other well-known identities are suing the publishers of the Daily Mail, alleging they used illegal spy tactics, including phone hacking, to gather sensitive personal information that was then published in the newspaper. Now, with Harry giving evidence, he's breaking a long-standing, rigid royal family tradition. And he said as much in court. He'd long held contempt for the tabloid press in Britain, but he said that he was always instructed to follow the Windsor ethos, never complain, never explain. He told the court that the Daily Mail carried out a very, quote, creepy campaign of harassment on women he was romantically linked for several years. Then an emotional moment as he spoke of his wife, Meghan Markle, saying the press here made her life a misery. This case is complex and has been met with several challenges. Several key witnesses against the Daily Mail have either retracted or changed their statements. Prince Harry has been seen as a key driver in this case, reportedly recruiting the mother of murder victim Stephen Lawrence. Now, he has won cases against the tabloid press before, but this case is different. No journalists have confessed to illegality and no police have been called in this case. The Daily Mail have described allegations levelled by Prince Harry against the paper as preposterous. So the stakes are high. Not only is the Daily Mail and the British press on trial, so is Prince Harry's judgment.
National MTV News continues after the break with Rukai Sports. Stay with us.
They're gold nuggets. There's a flavor for everyone. The best tasting snack. Get a burst of gold nuggets. Cheese flavor.
Mega wow.
Chicken flavor.
Mega wow.
Cheese onion flavor.
Mega wow.
Barbecue flavor. Mega wow.
When you're on the go. One more. One more.
Get that burst of gold nuggets flavor.
Mega wow.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad. All small crafts going out at sea must consider simple safety requirements. Always check the weather report before going out at sea. Do not jump on a boat if the passengers or skipper have been drinking alcohol. Always remember to wear a life jacket. Take enough drinking water and food with you. Make sure you have a bucket, canvas for shelter, and a paddle for emergency. Always take extra fuel on board and do not get on a boat that is overloaded. This message is authorized by the National Maritime Safety Authority.
On the go and need a quick update? Talk to TISA Bank. No logging, no typing, just your voice.
Hey Siri, what's my balance? Your balance is 2,578 kina.
Activate voice banking in 3 simple steps. 1. Update your TISA Bank mobile app to the latest version. 2. Set up Siri on your iPhone if not already enabled. 3. Start voice banking with TISA. TISA Bank. Banking on change.
EMTV is proud to announce that we are now offering tower rental spaces on the tallest tower in NCD and Central Province. Our new 80 meters television broadcasting tower proudly boasts an improved structure durability. It is versatile and suitable for various communications and broadcasting needs. It has a high internal load capacity, supporting multiple antennas and technologies simultaneously. This is your opportunity to optimize your transmission signal for wider coverage and extended reach. For co-location information, call 7723-3484 or email engineering@mtv.com.pg. MTV, your number one to watch.
Rukai Sports.
Welcome to Rukai Sports. As PNG Hunters pre-season training winds down, senior player Clint Lama highlighted the significance of discipline.
With pre-season training wrapping up, senior player Clint Lama said discipline drives the game.
It's a national sports. We have to be disciplined. We have to focus on what we have to do. Just keep discipline, and I don't know, it's up to the coaches how they whatever. But in our in our small group, you have to keep discipline and put your heads down because you represent a country. Yeah.
He noted that training has been going well and pointed out that the involvement of new boys has brought new perspectives and talents into the team.
There are good coaching staffs here, and most of the new boys, but they are so good. They brought new skills, new talent. So we are happy to be around them, trying to
True Kai Sports.
Some days feel grey until someone brings back your smile. Happiness, sometimes all it takes is a bite or a scoop.
Late again?
And sometimes it's waiting in the freezer just for you.
Share the love, share the happiness in every moment with Gala.
Gala Yum.
For the very first time in Papua New Guinea, Mail Research and Marketing Consultants proudly launched the 5th issue of the Mail Review magazine commemorating PNG's 50th Golden Jubilee independence. 2 volumes, 500 pages each. Volume 1 covers government politics and leadership, while Volume 2 highlights the private sector, state-owned entities as service providers, and NGOs. Together, they cover the period from 1972 to 2025. This 1,000-page collection reflects PNG's 50 years and sets the foundation for the next 50.
At Telecom, our network. Households will enjoy billions. Communities will get faster speeds and wider coverage. And business will profit from new towers and a more secure network. Plus, everyone will benefit from onshore storage that brings browsing home. It's all part of our ongoing billion kina nationwide investment. It feels good to be building a faster, stronger network for PNG.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Hi, it's Jaylee. Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? From the streets of Port Moresby to the global stage, we're bringing you the best of local and international sports. Profiles on PNG's rising and legendary stars, in-depth coverage of the biggest tournaments, and all the latest sports news. It's all coming back in 2026. Mark your calendars. Thursdays at 7 p.m., returning February 2026. More action, more stories, and more sports passion. See you in February 2026. Only on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, True inspiration through generations.
You're watching True Kai Sports. The Papua New Guinea's women's national football team commenced its preparations for the FIFA Women's World Cup 2027 OFC qualifiers set to be hosted in Fiji.
The qualifier is set to take place in Fiji from February 27 to March 7 this year. A 40-member provisional squad has been assembled in Lae and are currently undergoing training at the PNGFA Academy at 11 Mile. The team is under coach Erickson Komeng with assistant coach Edna Thomas and goalkeeper coach David Kaura. The training program commenced with medical assessment in Lae this week. The training is focused on conditioning, technical system and squad evaluation. The final squad will be named on February 14, 2026 before they go into break and resume on February 19 to 23 in Port Moresby. The PNG women's national football team will depart for Fiji on February 24, 2026 ahead of the official tournament kickoff. PNG is in Group B alongside Vanuatu, host nation Fiji, and New Caledonia, setting up a highly competitive group stage. The OFC Women's World Cup qualifiers 2026 form a part of Oceania's pathway toward the FIFA Women's World Cup 2027. Charlie Dumavi, True Kai Sports.
That ends True Kai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
True Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Kai. True Kai, true inspiration through generations.
All small crafts going out at sea must consider simple safety requirements. Always check the weather report before going out at sea. Do not jump on a boat if the passengers or skipper have been drinking alcohol. Always remember to wear a life jacket. Take enough drinking water and food with you. Make sure you have a bucket, canvas for shelter, and a paddle for emergency. Always take extra fuel on board and do not get on a boat that is overloaded. This message is authorized by the National Maritime Safety Authority.
At Telecom, we're boosting our network. Households will enjoy better connections. Communities will get faster speeds and wider coverage. And business will profit from new towers and a more secure network. Plus, everyone will benefit from onshore storage that brings browsing home. It's all part of our ongoing billion kina nationwide investment. It feels good to be building a faster, stronger network for PNG.
Even if we are non-aligned, we must show commitment and trust to whoever we engage with.
Returning in February 2026 is In Focus, your weekly news and current affairs talk show, which presents in-depth commentaries, discussions, and analysis of the major current affairs issues in Papua New Guinea and in the region.
The Tolai people as well that were left behind.
Super funds have grown from just under 2 billion kina industry to now 20 billion kina.
We engage in discussions with decision makers and experts across politics, government, history, industry, economics and business, as well as health, social, cultural and environmental issues, keeping you well informed right here on your #1 to watch, EMTV.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You may hold him on the walk one time.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
The MoneyPlus weather report for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby mostly cloudy with some rain showers. Popondetta cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Thursday, the 22nd of January, 2026. From all of us here, pleasant viewing and good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.